Hey, how's it going? I'm Links, and today I'm going to show you how to get at least 9,000 points on the Knighthood boss battle against Einek on Hell difficulty for week 1. At least that's how I think you pronounce his name. Einek, whatever this is. But yeah, so for this week the missions are clear after using at most 25 skills, clear with all heroes having more than 40% HP, apply dissolve on the enemy 4 times, and clear without anyone dying. So for this week we are gonna use this team right here, and I should perhaps sort of explain it backwards. So we'll start with like the final attack we will do, which is going to be Brunhild's ultimate. Now we are using Brunhild's ultimate because for one, she is a green unit and the boss has a passive that reduces the damage. Other attributes other than sort of attributes that are advantageous against him, he is a blue unit, so we have to use a green unit, and it reduces the damage of other types of units by 80%. So we do need to ult with a green unit. Now Brunhild, of course, her ultimate is going to heal us. That is really nice, and because the more health you have in the Knighthood boss battles, like the more points you are going to get. Now we also have Luda Margaret on as a link because Luda Margaret's grace increases the hero's attack by 5% for each stance and buff applied on the enemy when using a skill. Now this is going to increase our attack by about 50 to 70%, I believe, which is really nice because the boss is going to accumulate many buffs, so that is going to be very helpful. And we are also gonna get debuffed, so Brunhild's holy relic here comes in handy because we're gonna increase our attack by an additional 20%. Now why do I say the boss is gonna get a lot of buffs? Well, that is because he has this attack right here. He is going to remove our buffs, and because he has this passive, anytime he removes a buff, he's going to gain a buff which increases his defense by 30% for 2 turns. This stacks up to 10 times, so if we can get a total of 10 buffs on all our units, that is going to give the boss 10 buffs, which is of course going to increase the damage output of Brunhild by an additional 50%. Now how do we get these buffs? Well, of course the boss does sort of debuff us, and if we use this blue card here by Lizhawk, we are going to get at least 2 buffs on all our units if we use a silver card, more if we use a gold card, and well, 2 buffs on 4 units is 8 buffs, and that's why we also have this Melascula here, because she also has a buff card that's gonna give us an additional 4 buffs. So we can always sort of max out the number of buffs that the boss is going to have before we sort of ult. Now we're also using Lizhawk here because the boss debuffs us, and she increases our HP by 12% for every debuff applied on her specifically, which if we can stack that up, that is going to be really good. So I'm gonna aim for like at least 4 or 5 debuffs on her. Hopefully we can achieve that. If not, like 3 should still be enough to get like 11.5, 12k points at the end. And of course the more HP and stats you have, like the more points you're gonna get. Now to complete this, apply dissolve on the enemy 4 times mission. We are of course gonna use Melascula's ult gauge depletion card right here, and yeah, hopefully we can draw enough of these cards so that we can complete the mission in a timely manner. And we're also using Tarmiel here mainly for his blue card, so hopefully we can get a gold card, but I'll take a silver card and that should give us enough points. If you want to get at least 9,000 points, all you need to do is like complete 3 of these missions, and you don't even have to worry about dealing a lot of damage. But if you want to get more than 12k points and get like top 1% score, then of course you need to follow like the tactic that I'm about to show you. Anyway, so the food we're gonna eat is HP food. I auto set the card sets to HP, and the gear I have on them is attack crit on Brunhild so that she can deal more damage. I also have HP defense on all the other units, and yeah, with that let's just get into it. Alright, so on phase 1, the boss will always sort of start out with a shield. I do believe these 3 buffs up here represent the shield as well as like some other buffs he gains when he actually has a shield. But the good thing is we have Brunhild's card here. It is a power strike card and it can break the shield in 1 hit. The boss does have some ult gauge orbs, so we will also use Melascula's ult gauge remover right now. I will do this, we'll do this and that. So that is actually using 4 attacks, and I do like to keep track of how many attacks I actually use or how many cards I actually use, as well as like how many ult gauge orbs I removed, so that I can like remember exactly like how close I am to going over 25 attacks, right? So I don't actually go over. So I try to like move some cards and stuff like that. Here we actually got really lucky. We got 2 more like gauge remover cards. Now the ult gauge removers, every time we remove an ult, we do get quite a lot of points, so there's very nice. And yeah, I'm just gonna move my cards. Like actually I'm gonna use this. So we're using 3 cards right now. That puts us at 7 cards, as well as like 3 ult gauges removed, which yeah, that's good. So we only need 1 more Melascula card. Getting more of these Brunhild cards so we can break the shield is also welcome. And I think I might use 4 cards this turn, just to sort of maximize card draw. Unfortunately, I can't remove the ult, but we are gonna apply a shield, which of course is gonna break because we do have corrosion on most units. What I could do though is I could just use this card. But yeah, this is the second, or the boss's second turn, so he applied another shield. On the third turn, as you can see, he has this attack right here, which is he's going to apply a buff to himself, which if you attack him, you're gonna be applied with a dissolve, which is gonna remove 2 ult gauge orbs every turn for 2 turns. That is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Here we broke the shield. We're using 4 more attacks, so I'm just gonna jot that down. That is 11 attacks or cards used total. This isn't gonna do too much damage because she deals 80% less damage. And we do have her ult, we do have some nice Brunhild cards, and we got our last ult gauge remover card, so yeah, we take that. However, if we attack with the ult gauge remover card, or if we attack with like any Brunhild cards right now, we are of course gonna get applied with the ult gauge dissolve. So what I like to do is I kinda like to use this card even though it's really good to save it, but what I am gonna do is I'm just gonna do this anyway. We're gonna get Brunhild's ult, and then I'm gonna do that. That is gonna give the boss a bunch of buffs for the next turn when it's the boss's turn. So on phase 2, his first turn, he's of course gonna slash us, remove all our buffs, and give himself a bunch of buffs. After that, we don't have to worry about that. Now we do get to keep our ults as well. Now we did also use 4 more cards, and I'm gonna jot that down. So we're at 15 cards. We have 10 more cards to use. Hopefully we can get some nice buff cards here that will merge. But if I use, because on the final turn I do want to like buff up, then use 2 ults, and then use Brunhild's ult. So that's 4 cards out of like a 25 total. So we do have 6 more cards that we can use for the following turns. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna use all these attack cards, so hopefully I can get some really nice other cards, and hopefully the boss keeps like debuffing Liz here, because that is gonna be very, very helpful for us. But we're just gonna do this, not deal too much damage, and then we need to wait 2 turns. So this is 4 more cards. We're at 19 total cards used. Maybe we can get a ult gauge remover so that the boss doesn't get any ults, you know. Here we go. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buffs so far. We are gonna use 1 buff, and we're gonna use this ult gauge remover. That is all we're gonna use. Unfortunately, the buff won't actually help us, so I might need to bank on actually getting another Tarmil buff if we're gonna maximize like the number of buffs that the boss has. I think we're gonna do fine without it. So I might as well... Yeah, he only has 1 attack here, and that might not even be like the swipe anyway for this turn, so I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save all of these other cards. Should probably get his ult, because I do think Tarmil might hit quite hard. I'm just gonna move this card. Oh man, if I move that card, I'm gonna get his ult and I won't get a merger. And that sucks. That does suck. I'm gonna use this card anyway, right, like this. And then I'm just gonna skip. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think this is gonna be fine. So that's 2 more cards used. We are at 21 cards used. We have 4 more cards to use. If I do happen to get a Tarmil buff card, I didn't, that's totally fine. So we're gonna buff up, we're gonna ult twice, and then ult with Brunhild. So yeah, this should give us enough points. If it doesn't, at the end of this video, I'll like leave the video where I got 12.5k score. Oh, actually I'm gonna remove this and we're just gonna watch the Brunhild one. Okay, there we go. We're gonna watch this, but I'm gonna leave the video, the 12.5k score video, at the end of this video. I'm gonna speed it up to like 2 or 3 times speed, but yeah, let's just see here. Like, her ult animation is so cracked. Look how good that looks. 790k, we healed back to full. I didn't quite see how many debuffs Liz had. And the score is 11.69, so 11.7k. That is quite good. It's not at 12.5k, but I'll leave that clip at the end of the video, so you can check it out if you want to. But yeah, with that said, you could easily like get at least 9k points just by like straight up killing the boss and completing 3 out of the 4 missions. That's what I got, so you'll easily be able to like complete this. But if you sort of get lucky enough with like the card draw, you get like a gold Tarmil buff, then you could like easily get top 1%. So, but yeah, I think that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna leave the clip with the 12.5k score at the end of this video. But yeah, hope you found this video helpful. This week was actually quite annoying, like having to build up this team. I actually had to level up both Liz and this Melascula here. But anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I guess I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.